Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today we're going to look at Mark chapter 12, verses 38 through 44. Now, most of this section here is a very familiar scene to many people. It's the scene of the woman who's giving her offering, sometimes called the widow's mite, right, to use an older translation of it. But the story goes, Jesus and his disciples are there in the temple, and they see this widow, this poor widow, come up. She drops her couple of coins in for the offering, and then she kind of leaves without anybody noticing. Jesus compares this to all of the big shots who are putting in large amounts of money and kind of drawing attention to themselves. Jesus says that this poor woman gave everything she had as opposed to the other people. Most of the time when we hear this, what we hear is, be generous and give all that you have like this woman. This woman, even though she only gave a couple of coins, it was all she had to her name. So percentage-wise, she gave more than what everybody else was giving. Maybe they gave more money, maybe they gave more coins than she did, but proportionally, based on what they have, it wasn't as much as what she gave. But even though this text is often used to encourage or promote generosity, like, hey, be like this widow, that's not actually what's going on here. Look at the section right before, the section that starts with verse 38. There, Jesus kind of lays into the scribes. He criticizes them for not living the way God wants them to live. In fact, he even specifically says that these scribes devour widows' houses. Enter widow stage right. This widow comes in and gives everything she has, not out of a sense of generosity, but because that's all she has left. In other words, these scribes, these religious authorities who have been called by God to care for the widow, the orphan, and the stranger, to specifically look out for those in need in their community, instead of caring for them, they've been taking advantage of them. They have basically milked this widow dry. They have taken everything from her, and all she has left is these couple of coins, which then they take from her too. Jesus isn't saying, hey, be like this widow. Instead, he's calling his disciples and us to care for the widow. Right? When he says that she's given everything she has, I don't imagine him saying that with a sense of joy in his voice. Instead, I imagine him saying that with a tear in his eye. I imagine him crying a little bit, noticing that they've taken this woman for everything she has, even her last couple of coins. In our world today, think about the powers that be who take advantage of the little guy. Think about those who basically milk others for all they're worth and then leave them with nothing. Those who have positions of power and authority have the duty to care for those in need, not take advantage of them. But that's what happens here in this story. But that is not what we as Christians are called to do. Jesus points out that this widow gave everything she had because that's all she had left. He's calling his disciples and us to do what God calls us to do, namely look out for those in need, care for them, reach out to them, provide for them, help them, show God's love to them. So rather than hearing this story as a call to generosity on the part of the widow, hear it as a call to generosity on the part of the disciples to reach out to the widow. There's your 5-minute Bible study for the day. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.